Okay, we're back. I had to sort out a bunch of mic problems, and I am very under the weather. So if I sniffle and sneeze a bunch, then yeah. So we're playing WoW Classic as the Rogue, Morgan Rogue, and the first thing you'll notice, probably if you've watched the other three videos, is that the music is on now. And I did this to let it so that when I can't really fill gaps in terms of speaking after long sessions, that at least you have something to listen to in this regard. So I know I said before, like, about your own music and stuff, what you choose to listen to, and if that's a big deal, then you can tell me in the comments, and I'll turn the music back off for the next session. But you know, some people, like, I've been watching more and more WoW videos to try and relax too, and it can get awkward when there's no sound at all and the person's leveling, and yeah, that's kind of me. So audio will be on, and I'll be trying to balance it accordingly. After maybe the first hour, I'll check and see if it was good, and if it was, then great, and I'll keep going. If not, then whatever. But I spent a little bit putting it through a different audio source, so hopefully it sounds the exact same, and you know, it sounds fine. But thinking, this kind of sucks, like, having this. I wish I had I have a couple other characters, but I don't have enough gold on any of them to buy the headpiece yet, so kind of stuck. But whatever, I'm just queuing classic dungeons, so I mean, not like a big deal really. I think I'm part of a guild, yeah. So right now, level 25. I have to sneeze, but it doesn't want to come out. Pushing on combat. You know, gonna do sword spec probably, because I like killing spree. And if you haven't been here before, if for some reason this is your first episode, it's kind of been a little bit for me. It's been like about a week coming back. But playing Cataclysm to get ready for Miss Pandaria. Whether I'll be doing raiding in Classic, we'll see. Probably heroic dungeons. You know, that's not hard, difficult at all. But you know, I'm somebody who actively started raiding when LFR came out. Also, I think I'm going to Duskwood. No, I'm going to Stranglethorn. And I'll just run it, I guess. I'll just there. So I'm somebody who started playing back in TBC because interestingly, my mother, she's a nurse, and when I was younger, she had just gotten into nursing, and so she was constantly on call, and her hours were either non-existent or she was at work all the time. And because of that, like, fluctuation as a child, it's hard for her to find a babysitter when she has no idea when she's going to go into work. So something that both my parents realized early on is, like, well, I grew this heavy attachment to tech and video games at, like, a very young age. I have photos of me and at pretty 10 years old playing the free online Halo CE thing, playing the Gulch map for, you know, forever, and I have vivid memories of that. And those things, I'll just wait until the sound for random dungeon. I should probably turn off the random dungeon sound, but those things all contributed to my sort of childhood as being able to, like, connect with video games really easily. And because of that, my mom made the astute, like, observation that a World of Warcraft subscription would be cheaper than actually paying for a babysitter, because as well, she doesn't have to figure out a time for it. So what she would do is she would pay for a WoW sub, and then she would put chores up on the on, like, the fridge and everything. And when I was done that, you know, I was allowed to play WoW, and even though she wasn't there, it worked, like, extremely well. So anyways, so I got into WoW in about, I want to say around the the 2007 time, right as TBC is like in the middle. I was not a serious player of WoW because I was 10. So you know, to me it was just having fun. I remember some of the first characters I made was human paladin. I had no idea what to do. I swapped over to druid, and then I got lost in Teldrassil, as I still do today. So, you know, I was not a like competitive player. I was not a raider at 10 years old. Uh-oh. That's not good. So yeah, so as a 10-year-old, I was not too into that. So I didn't start really raiding until oh, this bull is like super, till around Miss Pandaria, where my first memories were trying to load into a Mogushon vaults on a computer in 2012 or whenever that was, and getting like 15 FPS because I didn't know how to upgrade a computer at that age. So suffice to say that like as far as rating goes, like my intro, while I've gotten better and I'm would do I did heroic rating in Wrath Classic, and I did Sartharian 3-man, and now or 3 Drakes, and I do I've done more within rating, and I've done Legion rating as heroic. I've done, at current content, I've done rating. I don't know that my jump into rating on Cataclysm is like the same scale, because with those with Rats specifically, like I was playing with friends, and I had a tank that I could queue with, and I had friends that were willing to fill as healers or DPS, and I was an elemental / resto shaman, where I off healed as I filled in healing in ICC for my tank friends, so we could be very communicative and everything. Whereas this, I'm just going at it alone. So pugging, while as a DPS still is not hard, I would have a lot less confidence in actually doing it. So I might start raiding with LFR launch in MOP. Sorry, I'm just drinking coffee. Put the spoon in still. I don't know what we're waiting on. Yeah, so I'll probably start raiding in MOP based on how the LFR status goes, because I like getting the gear from LFR first to then feel more comfortable doing the normals and potentially the heroics. And from what I remember, the MOP heroics were always relatively touted as like, I don't remember if they were difficult really. Obviously, like Mythic Garrosh was regarded as a difficult fight slog, but anyways, we'll see if I do any amount of raiding before MOP comes out. Really, these characters are just set up for Miss Pandaria because I want to sort of remember the time that I most remember as a player. No, sorry, not most remember. When I started, like, my first vivid memories of playing World of Warcraft. I remember sitting there with a struggling to run it on a 1080p monitor because I had no idea how to. Oh. It looks like it occurred. Not knowing how to increase my FPS at all, or struggling there. So I played it on this smaller. Wow, nice rolls. The smaller 1280 by 720 monitor, because it would get me more performance at the time. So while I'm not going to go back to that, I've got 1440 and I'm never turning back. you know, it's like I have those memories compared to as a kid playing it, you know, to like I have memories, of course, of starting my characters, and you know, one memory I have very well for some reason is just the memory of the first time that I saw what's her name, the Lich King's dragon. I can't remember her name for some reason. Popular dragon. We could just Atlas it, I guess. Syndragosa. Nope, not Syndragosa. Yeah, no, it was Syndragosa. Yeah, I remember Syndragosa you know, flying in for the first time and thinking, holy shit, that's like the coolest thing that I've seen. And then I never got to see her in like ICC or anything. Not until 10 years later. But yeah, that's a lot of rambling. So yeah, so I'm back. Yeah, you can enjoy me rambling about nothing, rambling about the Lich King launch screen. Now, I'm sure that anybody that would watch this has probably sunk their teeth into. I need to stop target swapping while I have combo points. Has sank their teeth into Anniversary, because whether you're reliving your classic memories and you missed out on 2019, maybe, or your vanilla memories you missed out on 2019. Maybe you did play 2019 and you wanted to refresh. Maybe this is your first time playing classic. Whatever. You know, maybe you've seen like the roadmap, and so far they planned for TPC, which is great because that's how my friend is going to get into it. Is the more ease of access when it comes to TPC, but they've talked about, I think, I can't remember what source it would have come from, but they've talked about Wrath, and if they do that, they need to just stop there, in my opinion, because you then just run the risk of having parallel classics going through progression for like no reason, like, you know, just cause it makes more money or whatever. But I think they should run through all of Wrath and then decide whether they want to split up the expansions and let people queue into any expansion that they want to, or if they should just stop the Anniversary service altogether after a certain amount of time, and you can move your character over to Pressure or something, whatever. Doesn't really matter. Doing the other boss? Looks like he wants to. Like almost good enough, but the haste is strong. Yeah, so I think that like I would want it to stay in TPC for longer than it was before, and I would want it, honestly, I would want it to stay in I would want its patch cycle to stay, would like to be longer than vanilla, because, and that's probably like a controversial take, but I think that the endgame content has so much to offer in TBC that, you know, it potentially is a coin flip whether some people have even completed the attunements to get into Karazhan. Like, it takes so long to run through all these rogue dungeons, and those dungeons are fun. Like, they are, those level 80 dungeons are or 70 dungeons are a lot of fun. You know, well, I think they are, at least. But like, you know, I have friends who actively want to play because Karazhan, you know, they want to play Karazhan as like content, but I don't think they realize the stretch goal that they're trying to achieve is like, you know, it's the baseline of that, like getting into that is still pretty high. Like you have to have a good amount of time commitment, and the gear is like extensive across all of the dungeons, and what you can get from vendors and stuff as a pre-raid. Anyways, you start with that, and then you have everything else. You have to do the Tempest Keep attunements. You have to do the Black Temple attunements through Hyjal. You have to do, everything. Everything requires an attunement. So you then, I feel like, run this issue of like, I can. Why would I care about this? You run the issue of like, well, if people want to do that, but they don't realize the time commitment that's going to take, you have to give them more time. Whereas Wrath is pretty accessible. I mean, I was able to get into Max immediately, and there was, I don't think there's any attunements at all, aside from ICC having to do the, and maybe Trial, just running the dungeon. But, I remember doing, like, the quest line to get into ICC pretty quick. Maybe took a couple days, which is still probably even longer than what other people did. I remember doing like Argent Tournament dailies, which I never followed through on at all. So, like, it didn't take that long for me as somebody who would raid like selectively, where like I did LFR, whatever the second raid in Shadowlands is, and then didn't do the rest. Oh, I think I did one thing of Castle Nathria, and I hated the first boss, the tank one, the DPS check one. But I raided selectively in expansions, and where like Legion, I did everything at like the level that I thought I could do reasonably. I did Mythic Keystoning, and that's the only expansion that I've done Mythic Plus at an active level. I think like the highest key I ever would have gotten to was like 10 or 11, which for the time felt really high. And then I think like, oh well, people ran 16s, 17s, and now people run like in the high 20s and 30s, I think. So like, I wouldn't call myself a casual player, but I also wouldn't say that I'm like actively participating in all that the game has to offer at that higher level. So I've gone on and rambled yet again. The point is that I have friends who are willing to play TBC, but I don't think they're going to realize the time commitment that requires. So I think that TBC Anniversary should have an extended period. I think all of the phases should be extended. I think that phase 2 has gone on too long in current content, because all that exists is Dire Maul and a couple item changes off of dungeon bosses. And I know that it serves to try and get more people into. I don't think I can pick pick this herb at all. I know that phase 2 is the attempt to get more people into playing, like trying out Molten Core and stuff, but the biggest problem with current I can't even pick it. Current classic is that like potential expectation can be really high. I got into an Ani's Lair run. Luckily, it was a guild run where they were filling out spots. So, and while my damage was really high, I ended up being second damage as a hunter in that fight. With just I would say like 65% of my pre-raid bis. Molten Core runs are like, they're completely different, and while it's still phenomenally easy, I think the expectation is that you're a better player, and so it drives people away. It pushes. Oh, I gotta turn off the LFG sound if I can. Oh, you dungeon ready sound. And I'll mute some file will allow you to mute this. DBM, click option. DBM. General options. Extra features. An extra feature, second from the bottom, locate sound and flash alert options. Play ready check sound and flash application icon. Roll checks BGL LFG proposal. I don't think this is gonna do it. We'll see. I doubt it. I'll monitor it. I didn't even know where I was going with it. Yeah, so it should be longer, sorry. And the current phase I feel like is going on too long, and Blackwing Lair should be out already. Because the moment that Blackwing Lair comes out, the people that are actively running Molten Core will have it on farms, so they'll be more interested in inviting players that have been struggling or are newer or needed more time to build up their gear set. So you know, I think that this is like been a reasonable amount of time for players, and the content just isn't that difficult. Like, whereas TPC, you have countless fights that are notorious for being hard, or like inexplainable to a lot of regular players. Like trying to explain the chess match in Karazhan is next to impossible. You have to just experience it, but you need time to experience it. You need to run it more than once and grasp it, and time is money, you know, just like I just hope that they extend the lifespan of TPC, and they end it at Wrath, because otherwise it's not really anniversary content anymore. When we'll be in MOP, it won't be that deep into MOP, but we'll be in MOP. I'm not buying a Crescent X. And by the time that, you know, MOP is sort of like at its third or fourth phase, or maybe earlier, we'll be going into TPC. So, you know, how quickly will we catch up to the current progression cycle on anniversary? You know, like what, to the point, almost to the point where we'll be completely caught up. It's like, what's the point at that point? Like, we're trying to read, you know, experience for the first time these expansions that don't have a long life cycle, or do, but I think people didn't get into them at the times that they were originally put out. And well, I think some people sort of disregard the anniversary servers when it comes to how it's in vanilla right now, in terms of like, oh, it already happened, you know, 2019, we don't need to go back to that and stuff. I think they're wrong, first off, and that you can always get more people to try it out. You know, I've encountered so many new players. Just yesterday, I was doing the In Dreams quest line with some random mage to get my the necklace, and I had never done it before. I'd never done that quest line. I never or sorry, when TBC Classic came out, I did the starting three quests from Tyrion on a boosted character, and then I immediately went to Hellfire because or I switched to a Draenei. I leveled that, I leveled the Shaman, and then immediately went to Hellfire afterwards. Like, it was such a you know, a joke of a moment to me that, like, I just didn't need to do that stuff. So, you know, this is my first time that I had run it, and it was their first time that they had ran it. This was their first time playing Classic, and you know, I think that people can still get great experiences out of this game, especially for the first time, at any point in their life, and that sort of having like a variant of Classic out at all times is like a great strategy that they've been having. I don't agree with how many versions of Classic there are. I don't think you need hardcore anniversary Classic base like vanilla progression, then the anniversaries that are going to turn into progression, and then season of whatever. Right now it's discovery, but whatever it turns into later. That's so many versions, and I might have even missed some of just pure like just classic that that's it's too much. But I think like having progression, having a seasonal thing run beside it, and having some variant of long gone expansions that came out at this point 2 decades ago, it's like I think that's fine. But because I don't play hardcore, so I don't really care for whatever's going on with hardcore. But anyways, yeah. So I hope everyone's been doing good. About to transition into killing panthers now for a little bit. I know it wants me to go back and in quests and whatever, but I just want these like kill quests they're really nice for XP, but my god, they could be monotonous. So especially when trying to find panthers. Not fun. I'd like to get a dungeon queue. Eventually might leave queue and restart. Especially when I hear the sound. But queuing up as DPS at 7:30 a.m. on a Saturday, I can't really complain about getting a group at this point. Yeah, what else in classic news? Undermine came out. I just started playing it. I'm leveling up a couple of different characters on retail to see what I want to play, because I was tanking as Feral Tank, and I'll probably still keep doing that, but I don't know, I want something else. So trying to find a DPS that works for me. Currently I'm swapping between Warlock, which low level currently, an Arms Warrior, a Windwalker Monk, and thinking about something else as well. I have a mage that I could play. Oh, Enhancement Shaman. I just generally like agility based melee attackers. But yeah, Undermine came out. I started the intro quest line, and I don't know, like driving around in the car to tour the hotel and everything. I just kind of was like, whatever. Like, this feels extensively long for the most minimal amount of game. That's nice to get that at least. Because I'm not somebody who likes goblin related content, so I just want to blaze through it and get to whatever the new season stuff is and get it over with. And this patch just really, it's not really for me, so wanted to try it and give it a fair shot. And I haven't heard anything on it, but I also haven't been actively listening out for it. So, not too interested, realistically. I'll play it. I'll try and have some fun with it. Like War Within, I think I've had the relatable experience with everybody where the start was incredible. It was a great change of pace from I didn't really get into Dragonflight. So, because I was so burnt after Shadowlands, I just felt so slighted that it was like, well, if this is the direction of retail, I don't want to be a part of it. So I just didn't play Dragonflight, regardless of I've heard a lot of good things and everything. Just did not, after what happened with Shadowlands, I just did not feel good. So I completely skipped it. And so coming into War Within, like feeling the difference in terms of like pacing and storytelling and not being like the god of the universe for a little bit, having a boss that, or having a big bad that feels meaningful. The jailer always felt like he was just there, There wasn't any substance to him. He was me mad, me take over Shadowlands, you stop me. Oh, I caused every problem in the Warcraft universe. Suck it. Like just sort of tarnishing so much of what they had. The usual complaints to this, which is like, I love old god lore. I love everything to do with the old gods, and like I own all the Chronicle books. I've read through them and love them, and you think that I'm somebody who loves like astrology and astronomy and that sort of type of stuff. So the celestial sort of impact of WoW is like, I love it a lot, and I'll never complain about that like tier of content. But I also don't want to feel like I'm just at that level from the get-go. When you start an expansion, like when you start at Shadowlands, you're constantly you're expected as a character to have the means and the ability to conquer the realm of death, and be able to basically submit, put everybody into submission immediately, and yet you don't even know who the factions are going to be. So War Within was the great sort of like seismic shift that WoW needed, at least retail needed, to be like, hey, like there's this big bad villain, you've seen her before, the stakes, but you need to build up to it. You need to understand who the Earthen are and their connection to the world. You need to go through Magni's story and be alongside him, not leading the charge on every single thing that happens. And I'm glad that they're taking a break from that in the major patch, saying like, look, like we can have fun with it too. You can fuck around with the cartels of the goblins, and while I don't particularly like that type of lore, it's I do like the fact that you're not just constantly under the threat of fucking annihilation every 4 seconds. And I don't know whether the story of Undermined leans that way at all. Like I said, all I did was hopped in a car with 2 goblins and rolled up to a hotel and a bank, and that's it. So I don't really know where anything's gonna go, but I will say it does feel good, not like I liked Legion because we had we knew the Legion already, Burning Legion, we knew what they were capable of, we've seen it, and as you progress through the story of Legion, you can actively feel yourself becoming stronger through your artifact, through taking down all these major lore villains and getting to experience it. But you're not alone, like you help, or so you take down Gul'dan, and Illidan is there too, aiding. Like you're trying to free Illidan, and then throughout the story you then get to Argus, you have Trellian and Illyria playing a major role, you have Velen constantly popping out. Anyway, I'm just going through the history of fucking WoW at this point. It was it's been a nice change of pace. I don't know whether I'm gonna like goblin stuff though. I can't find any fucking jungle remedies at all. Just waiting on tank now. Okay, so we'll see if actually mutes the thing. So yeah, so what's the goal for this character at level 90? So I think I want to I definitely want to do the first tier of raids, because I remember doing Elfar Ma'ushan, not vividly though. I remember doing the intro boss quite a few times and dying to it quite a few times because nobody understood to switch targets when stone was up, despite it being a very rudimentary mechanic. Don't target thing that has 99% durability. I want to run that, and I want to run at least one time each raid, potentially except for Siege of Ogre, because of just how long it takes. Like, I would like to experience that I missed it actually, the ability to obtain the heirloom, because I did it too late. When I did Siege of Orgrimmar, I did it right when Draenor was about to come out. Like days before, not days before, but like a week before or something, a couple weeks before. So I missed out on the heirloom because all I ever did it in was LFR. Did that actually mute it? I didn't see. But yeah, so I just remember even in LFR taking just so long. And there are some interesting bosses. What isn't interesting though is sitting there waiting for waves to then go fight a mechanical scorpion that takes 2 seconds to down. So you know, I'd rather not have to experience that again. 3 druids, all of different roles. Do we do like Grubus and shit? I don't think we have to. Definitely go do Viscous. The dagger from Viscous would be really. We don't have to keep going. Oh. I have a talent point I need to do. I'm the kind of person who just follows a build. It's probably slice and dice movement or duration. Combat. Yeah, slice and dice. Great, because it's a very good spell. The 50%, 25%, 50% total.
I need to get closer.
Yeah, so like Terrace of the Endless Springs, Mogushan, Siege of Orgrimmar. What other raids came out during that? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. What else came out? Like a... Is there a Claxy raid? I don't remember. Something no damage compared to anybody else. Mop raids. Let's see. Oh, I forgot. Throw the Thunder. Okay, yeah, so I remember doing... Oh my god. Thanks. Yeah, so I remember doing Lei Shen and G-Kun as LFR content. That's sure. Yes. As LFR content again. So I would like to run that as normal rating. Heart of Fear, again, another controversial take. I have never liked Claxy stuff. I know people love the Claxy and how they talk about the world and the world building behind them. I get it. It is. I can see how people would like it, but I just have never been interested in the Claxy. I don't like bugs in general, so a bug race, insectoid race that speaks to you and you do quests for. No thanks. Killing spiders is fun in a genre or whatever, compared to, you know, just actually doing quests for spiders. I already don't like doing Dragonblight. But anyways, yeah, Heart of Fear don't particularly care for. Siege of Orgrimmar, again, just such a long raid. Would be interesting to do it as current content, not like too desperate though. Oh, and what I would like to see, because I I don't even know actually how this works. I don't really remember how Veil of Eternal Blossoms looked before Garrosh tainted it. I know that I had done like questing throughout it, because you know before I don't actually know how it works with time walking. I haven't gone back to do that stuff during time walking because I always out leveled the time walking thing before hitting Veil. But I don't remember how it looks untainted because that's like it's been so long since that happened. So I would love to see that again when I can remember it. And what else? It's about it in terms of character progression. I'd like to do professions because I struggled to get deep into professions early on. So what I might do is a little off-camera stuff at level 85 for this character. Try and build up professions to max so that they can be ready. I remember vividly Ghost Iron and Trillium being phenomenal moneymakers because engineering was really good, and I think at the time the gear from Ghost Iron and Trillium was actually good compared to a lot of questing gear that comes out early, so that could be worth it. But I'm a rogue, so obviously maybe I'll try the skinning leatherworking route. I've never done skinning leatherworking during that time. Did it in Warlords, and well, you know, it didn't matter because everyone had access to everything through their garrisons. You know, Sumptuous Fur was way too accessible through work orders and the like, so it never really mattered. I did professions during Wrath, and it actually felt good to do. I think I was tailoring and something else. Maybe I was mining.
Interrupt.
As a shaman, and I think in our group we had people who did everything. So like I would go out and I would mine. No, I wasn't mining. It was fun. So I think I was tailoring and enchanting. So I would do the tailoring and enchanting for stuff. So like the cloak, the Death Chill maybe. Yeah, so Death Chill cloak, like I remember crafting for everybody because it was that good in terms of you know, that's not in terms of like a pre-raid, you know, and even after Nax, it was like still, you know, an incredible piece of gear, which felt really good having professions leveled at that time, and enchanting was obviously will always be lucrative. But like I remember then creating an alt to do to help with Titan Steel, to get other people, you know, they're like my paladin friend, he was tank, and he needed some Titan Steel gear before jumping into raiding, so I remember helping him add on an alt. So it always feels good when professions feel relevant, and I think in MOP that's a really big thing, so interested to trying that out. Oh, and one more thing is I want to basically torture myself because I want to do tillers, because you know, for I again, another piece of content that I missed out on was like doing that, and people have always talked about how much they enjoyed it and how relaxing it was, and managing your farm and stuff. It was the precursor to doing garrisons in terms of farming and stuff. So it's like, you know, I can't imagine that it's particularly complex, but I still want to do it because of the legacy that it held. So I think it'd be interesting to do as well. So those are like my big ticket stuff, getting normal raids done, trying out professions actively, and doing tillers. I hope the audio balance has been good so far. I can't really hear it because it is, like I said, the WoW audio is going through my mic, so I'll test it afterwards. I'm gonna upload this regardless because I used to be so nitpicky about the things that I would upload. The sound wasn't good or anything, but now I'm just like, well, I want to grow, and you know, I've been just seeing like it's a minimal amount of viewers. Like every view that I, that's not to say I don't appreciate any view that anyone has. I don't expect this content to resonate with everybody, but you know, going from 6 views on a League of Legends video from before, you know, when it was popular during like the not good, but popular during the time when they added mythic items to you know, the views now, which are fine. Like I'm just having fun playing the game that I enjoy, and anybody finds any amount of enjoyment from that, then phenomenal. Like that's why I keep doing it, is because not just because like, oh, I can see a future in terms of content creators. I really can't. But that's also why I'm not doing it. I'm not the kind of person motivated by that and money and making, you know, a name for myself. Like I just want to have fun and bring back that sort of style that I grew up with, because while I love long form content and the people that put in an extreme amount of effort, you know, the most fun videos that I remember watching are Dogscast Minecraft videos and Creature Hub, you know, like Nova playing Sticks and Stones on Black Ops with either himself or with Jameis or anybody like that. Like their their Dead Island playthrough I watched every single episode of, and we would be there for the 24-hour streams and everything. So like I miss that, you know, style, and it's why I like watching, like maybe not, like for TFT for example. I don't know why I did that right at the end. It's really dumb. But like unedited content, you know, it drives me, and like my enjoyment of YouTube still, and you know, just like putting out those kind of videos, like it's fun to me. I hope people get some satisfaction out of it. I know it's raw, and it's like you know, I don't present myself in like the best way. Nothing good for anyone, actually. And you know, like I would say like I could be better in terms of how I handle sneezing and sniffling and everything. It's so involuntary to me, but you know, like I hope that something like this can resonate with other people, because these are the kinds of, I want to make the stuff that I would want to watch. So I watch development videos, I watch gaming videos like this. I don't think I'm good at making breakdown videos. I've had to for school, and I've never been good at it. At least I've never felt that I've been good at it. I've gotten okay reviews, but or creating and everything. You know, like that. While that's content that I enjoy, I don't think it's content that I'm particularly good at. So, you know, I want to stick to what I know and what I am good at, and what I'm good at is having fun in video games, finding my own fun, and development. So, you know, those are things I'm going to stick to for a while. And as I say that, I know I haven't done any development videos, but recently I switched from Ionic to React Native using what's that framework? I literally just put it.
I need a target.
There is it. Accessible. Expo. So, you know, like I just set up my environment for it. I think that not Metro, sorry, but the environment seems interesting. I've never used React Native. I don't know how heavy the crossover in terms of development from React to React Native is. I'm not particularly great with React, but this gives me more motivation to learn how to work with it better. And you know, that stuff will be coming out soon. I just set up the environment for it. So on top of that, I've been applying for jobs and doing interviews. And oh my god, I don't have poisons on my daggers. So you know, like I've been everything's like set up and finally ready to go. But I've been busy elsewhere doing other things. So that stuff kind of comes. Personal stuff comes secondary to when professional setting gets introduced again. But yeah, it's 3 levels so far. Not bad. I don't have any goals that I want to loop for in terms of leveling today. I have stuff I'm doing later, so you know I'm not too like engrossed in trying to get X amount of things done right now. But getting up to level 30 would be nice. Potentially into the 35 range. We'll do another hour or so after this hour finishes. That'll be the less rambly sections if we just want to listen during that time, then have the opportunity.
I'm out of breath.
Again, please let me know about the music being on and the sound and everything. Again, I will listen back to it and try and balance it for the next video better. But you know, the music and stuff like that's, haven't had it just yet now, so yeah, I don't know any takes on that.
That bag is full.
I don't care about loot. Silver Indon. So regular tigers are done. Do these guys now. I have the ability to loot the tumbled crystal. Nodes of oh, there's a silver. Can't even mine it. Melting bronze good. Thing is, this mining XP it's not gonna matter because I'm gonna change professions later on anyways, so like, this is just for their XP. See something that I can go for, then I will. I'm not like actively gonna go out of my way to collect herbs, and I didn't monitor it tightly again. I don't think the sound popped. I will check back. This was at 53. Okay. Oh my god, I'm gonna do stocks like a million times. Pick up some bag space for potential items and the bag that you get. Yeah, so because they revamped these dungeons, the loot is not set up in here, so I want a different add-on at some point to see. It really doesn't matter, it's just leveling stuff, so the upgrade is an upgrade at this point, but I'm never going to swap out the heirlooms, so not much. Oh. Another overpull? Oh, he dropped dagger with blessing. So. The deep rotation of rogue. Spamming 2. I just can't tell whether backstab is even more damage right now than Sinister Strike, given the amount of upgrades to Sinister that But I have increasing damage of Sinister. It gets 50% increased. I'm sure that backstab gets better later on, but like right now, this doesn't feel like it. I also feel bad when I play classes that don't have group-wide buffs. Like I like playing. It's actually a big reason why I like to play Druid and especially Feral, is because you get to Mark of the Wild people and you get, well, yeah, you get to Mark of the Wild people classic because it's in the upgraded one, and part of the Wild too. No other. Oh, there is another. We'll see. I get it. Apply poisons to it. But yeah, like when I can't group wide buff, you know, I feel like I have to make up for that considerably in damage. Which again, it's stockades, so should I really be carrying? Oh, but I do. So. Down to this. It's so much, such a hefty energy cost to. I'm gonna need these for appearance.
Inventory is full.
As well as I suck. I need to get in the mindset of like these early game loot. Like it just doesn't matter. So needing on leather stuff for appearance, like it's fine. You know, I might get kicked for it, but needing on everything is like different, obviously. Like you shouldn't need on every single piece of gear possible. Like I don't need these because they're not transmoggable, so it's agreed. I want it anyways, but still, I don't need it. So.
Interrupt.
I'll be the one to interrupt because despite having 3 interrupts, eventually 4, the only one that cares. Killed the boss quickly.
Interrupt.
I don't know when, like, best to use Eviscerate over Slice and Dice, like, because like by the time that Slice and Dice runs out,
That bag is full.
that'd be it. Use as an actual upgrade. Bad. That's actually such a nice upgrade. By the time that I've stacked up all my combo points, it feels like Slice and Dice is already up. So I don't know whether that will change later on. Yeah, so it's possible. But yeah, energy regenerate. What is it? I don't know. We'll see. I just say, yeah, I'm not confident in how Rogue plays, so I'm learning again, and I know that obviously in a couple months' time, yeah, everything's gonna change. I'm gonna be back to figuring out the mop talent tree system, which is the only thing that I'm not excited for. Because while the impact of the talent tree might be the same, it doesn't feel like it. Like, obviously, you get a lot of stuff baseline that you would have gotten in talent trees, but having talent points just like it feels like you have more weight to your character. Fuck. Great, it's done. It's done. You don't have to be with that player anymore. But yeah, it just doesn't feel like it's sort of weighty enough. But anyways, it's been an hour, so I'm gonna switch over to the next video. Actually, maybe I'll finish up the tumbling crystals first, and then I'll get to a safe place and listen to the audio to see if I need to make any changes.
I need to get closer.
And just keep going. Got to be level 29. 8 crystal. And I'll listen to the audio and see if I need to make any balances, and need to remember at 53 minutes to hear whether the RDF timer went off. Sound, sorry, not timer. Get to fill a icon, stand around here for a moment.
I'm outraged.
But yeah, if you've enjoyed, let me know. And tell me what you want to see. Tell me what you want less of. Tell me what you want more of, and I'll make it happen if it sounds good. So enjoy your day, whatever you're doing, and yeah, see ya.